So here's a short story, an entertaining short story that has a very serious lesson when it comes to differences between men and women when it comes to handling a situation in a logical manner and letting emotions take over. Generally speaking, the gals are going to let their emotions take over, and guys are more likely to try to at least keep their cool and think things through. And in this situation here, good Lord Almighty, as this guy found out that his wife is cheating on him with her sister's husband. And now he's informed his wife's sister about this, and she wants to get even with them by hooking up, making my point about emotions. And now, obviously, he's like, what the hell am I going to do here? It's a pretty crazy one. Titled, I caught my wife having an affair with her sister's husband. Now her sister wants to get even, and I don't know what to do. And a shout out to Art for sending this in. He says here, I never thought I'd be writing something like this. About 3 weeks ago, I, a 37-year-old male, started noticing my wife, a 33-year-old female, acting differently. She suddenly became very protective over her phone, taking it everywhere with her, and I noticed her smiling at the messages, then quickly locking the screen if I walked into the room. At first, I convinced myself it was just work stress, and then I was just being paranoid. Dudes, you ever notice the pattern here? It's always the same thing. But now you guys watching this know what to look for. What really set off the alarm bells was how often she seemed to be messaging someone. One evening, she left her phone on the kitchen counter while she was in the shower. A message popped up from her sister's husband, who's 31, that immediately struck me as odd because, as far as I knew, they rarely spoke directly. If we needed to tell them something, it usually went through her sister and vice versa. Okay, she's some inappropriate relationship with the brother-in-law. Well, it's about to become inappropriate to a whole new level. Well, I'm not proud of it, but I looked at her phone. Smack! Dude, no. All the red flags are there. Automatically, it's warranted. Do not feel bad about that. The message preview alone was enough to make my stomach drop. It wasn't something you'd send your wife's sister. I ended up reading more and more and quickly discovered they clearly had been having an affair for months. Are you apologizing now about looking at her phone? There were messages about meeting up when both of us thought they were somewhere else, discussions about hotel rooms, and details about what they've been doing together that I genuinely wish I could erase from my memory. Talk about a snake. Not only is she cheating on her husband here, but she's cheating with her younger sister's husband. Oh my God, these are rotten people. The next day I contacted my wife's sister, who's 30. At first, she did not believe me, although she admitted she suspected her husband was talking to someone. I sent her the screenshots. A few hours later, she called me back in tears and said she checked his phone herself. Well, since then, we spent a lot of time trying to piece together what had happened. Comparing timelines has been horrible. Family gatherings, birthdays, weekends away, and looking back, it feels like we were both being lied to right in front of our faces. Well, you were, and it's terrible. But now you two know these marriages cannot last, and you can work together to both get out of this and move forward. Unfortunately, we're about to see hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and how women emotions will take over logic. Here's where things get even stranger. A few days ago, my sister-in-law suggested that the two of us should get together ourselves. Not because we secretly had feelings for each other, but because, in her words, they deserve to know how it feels. There we go. She wants to hook up. Not because she's into the guy, just to make him pay. Not exactly a smart idea while they're still all married, and that could jeopardize the whole thing, and they become just like them. And I get she's upset. Don't get me wrong. And I'm sure a lot of guys are like, hell yeah, she's hot. Bang the girl. Let's be smart about this, please. That'd be a terrible idea. But we'll get back to that. I honestly didn't know what to say. I'm sure his other head was doing some thinking for at least a microsecond. Part of me understands where she's coming from. She's hurt, angry, humiliated, and wants some kind of justice. But another part of me feels like this is an emotional reaction rather than something either of us generally wants. It feels like we've been making life-changing decisions while running on betrayal, anger, and grief. That's exactly what's happening. There's nothing good would come from this, except your dick would feel good for a few minutes or so. So long as she's good looking. She's going to be banging some ugly chicks. To be clear, I think she's an attractive woman, but I've never viewed her that way. Right now, I'm struggling enough to figure out whether my marriage is over without adding another complicated situation to the mix. Trying to figure out whether your marriage is over? Smack! Dude, your wife is cheating on you, and with your sister's husband, a brother-in-law. How is your marriage anything but over? Come on, brother. Snap the hell out of it. She says it isn't about revenge and that maybe something positive could come from two people who understand exactly what the other is going through. I don't know if that's genuine or it's trauma talking. It's the trauma. There's a thing called trauma bonding. Has anyone been in a situation remotely like this? Well, I'm sure somebody's been in a situation like this, but it ain't common. Did you stay friends with the other betrayed spouse? Did feelings eventually develop naturally? Or is pursuing anything while we're both in this emotional state a terrible idea? It's a terrible idea, brother. I'm trying to make decisions I'll still respect a year from now, not decisions that I feel satisfying in the moment. He also says I should have mentioned neither my wife or her husband currently know that we know. And to answer some questions, no kids on both sides. My wife and I have been married for 7 years, her sister and her husband for 3, but myself and him both met our partners at roughly the same time, about 2 months apart. Okay, well, good there's no children involved, thank the Lord. So, yes, them hooking up now is a terrible idea. But you see how she's running on pure emotion? The logical thing to do is for both of them to work together, talk to lawyers. Maybe they can get a group rate with one lawyer and get all their ducks in a row with what the lawyer says they have to do, gathering evidence. You never know, they live in an at-fault state. And then drop the hammer on them. And then go through the divorce process and work together, get out of those marriages. And after they're divorced, then if these two actually, if there's actually an attraction there, they like each other, then if they want to, okay, no harm. Well, no, I'm not going to say no harm, no foul, because there's always a ripple effect. But at least then they're not married anymore and can mess things up with the divorce process. Quite frankly, I think this guy should work with her and nothing more, because all it's going to do is bring drama. It'll feel great if she's good looking to hook up with her. Like, say he did this after they got divorced and he banged her a few times. Sure, that might feel good if she's attractive, but and obviously let it get out, because it will get out. But that just brings more drama. And if he even got involved with her, think about it. You want to be in that family? Look at all the turmoil going on there. It ain't going to end. Life is short, guys, and life itself will bring problems and headaches and drama on a daily basis in your life. Why try to bring more? That's just how I see it. But our guy's young. Well, okay, he's not that young. He's 37. But the point is, it's a big mess. So to any of you guys out there that may find yourself in a situation, not necessarily like this specifically, but something to get revenge, to feel good in the short term, but fuck it up in the long term, think long term. And also understand this is where a guy who's going to let logic do the processing here, let that guy, the logic, run the show, not emotion, not knee-jerk reaction. She just wants to get revenge, and I'll screw the whole thing up. But then again, as I say, women love drama. I mean, yeah, she's hurting. Her husband's cheating on her, and that's terrible, but still. But anyhow, guys, there you go. Now, I'm going to read a few comments here, because pretty much everybody's thinking what I'm thinking. One guy says here, as tempting as it may sound, it's not a good idea. That's trauma and a need for revenge talking, which is a natural reaction. Right now, you and the sister are victims and the good guys. In the relationships, don't stoop to their level. Both of you should get a divorce. After that, things are good between you two, and you want some revenge, so be it. Yeah, after you're divorced, then there you go, even though I wouldn't advise it. Another one, this guy says, if your wife's sister says it's not about revenge, then tell her you can try dating once you're both divorced. Your wife and her husband will still be hurt knowing you're together, even if it's later. But it'll be far less messy and dramatic if you are both single and seeing each other. If the sister insists that you have to hook up now, then she's lying and it's about revenge. Whatever the scenario, do what's best for you. Yes, do what's best for you. And oh yeah, again, no ifs, ands, or buts, your marriage is over. Get out of it. And one more. This dude says, OP, don't do this. Use whatever strength you have to avoid her and not even come close to doing something that you will totally regret later on. 2 wrongs ain't going to make it right. It's very telling, though, even in her emotional state, how these two sisters have this view. I mean, one flat out F's her sister's husband behind your back, and the other feels it's justified to F her sister's husband just to set the record straight. Thank you. I'd be running from both both that and the family. I don't care how wonderful you think your in-laws family is, you just discovered that at least from this branch of the tree, there is something seriously foul mentally within. You did not say how long you've been married or if you have children, but regardless, it'd be a great co-parent and divorce so fast. I'd be a great co-parent and divorce so fast, the devil himself will consume the family. Well, he addresses later on they don't have any kids. I'm sorry this is one of those bad situations where I just see red family flag blossoming like those fake roses on a dinner table. It's time to go. There you go, guys. So, just for fun, what do you think? I know there are going to be guys like, banger, hook up with her, and put on video and send it to them. Yeah, I know it's funny and all, but really, at the very least, if he's going to hook up with her, do it after they're divorced. But I'd like to hear from you guys what you say no matter what, but I'm sure the majority are going to say, as funny as it is to hook up, talk to the lawyers, work together as a team, get divorced, and then at that point then, and maybe there's a few of you like me that says, no, don't have anything, no, don't get involved with that crazy family, run for the hills after the divorce. So, I'd like to hear what you have to say.